The story starts with a young girl named Shen going to a fancy blind date party for her friend. At the same time, a handsome guy in a wheelchair is brought to the party by his assistant, hoping to find a partner. Shen, who is skating around the hotel, accidentally crashes into the guy and falls on top of him. She quickly apologizes and runs away. Jung, the guy in the wheelchair, doesn't find her odd, but rather special. He then asks his assistant to leave so he can enjoy the party alone. In the next scene, Shen is enjoying the fancy food at the party and wishes she could go to more events like this more often. Nearby, another girl, Neep, is criticizing Shen for her behavior and looks. Meanwhile, someone mentions a billionaire at the party, and Neep shows her interest in the same guy. Right then, Jung arrives in his wheelchair, and Neep insults him for being disabled. Another guy almost runs into Jung, and he is incredibly rude as well. He introduces himself as the rumored billionaire of Lu Group. Neep joins the guy and suggests they stay away from low-class people. Hearing this, Shen steps up to defend Jung, explaining that the other guy bumped into him and that Jung is innocent. But Neep doesn't believe her and challenges them to a dance-off. Shen accepts the challenge and promises to handle it. Later on the dance floor, Shen pushes the other couple away with the wheelchair. She encourages Jung to turn his weakness into strength and never bow to humiliation. In response, Jung smiles and thanks her for her help. After the party ends, Shen escorts Jung outside, expressing how happy she is that she attended the event and received a fancy gift. In gratitude, Jung also gives her a lovely watch. Suddenly, Nip reappears with the same jerk and demands that the two leave. As expected, our girl refuses, and in response, Neep calls security. However, to her dismay, the security arrives and, at Jung's signal, slaps her. They also check the guy's pockets, revealing a fake invitation card claiming to be the CEO of the Lu Group of companies. Shocked, Neep sits down crying, realizing she was duped and her dream of marrying a wealthy man is shattered. The scene then shifts to a resort where Shen works part-time selling coconuts to attract guests. The resort belongs to Lu Group, and Jung, the company's president, arrives to assess the services. He uses a wheelchair to observe the resort fully. When Shen sees Jung, she's surprised and warmly welcomes him, having no idea that he's the owner. However, when Jung asks about discounts for the disabled, the manager of the resort belittles him, suggesting that he stay at a cheaper resort. Ignoring the manager's words, Shen defends Jung and offers him a 200 yen discount to stay. She leads him to a luxurious room and tries to turn on the AC for him. Unfortunately, the AC is broken, and she decides to fix it herself. While repairing it, she slips and nearly falls, but Jung abruptly stands up and catches her, surprising Shen, who believes it's some sort of medical miracle. Later, as the two are enjoying themselves, the manager arrives and tells Shen that she needs to attract 100 more guests to get a double bonus for the day. At first, Shen feels like it's impossible, but with Jung's support, she gains confidence and starts luring guests to the entrance. To her surprise, a bunch of large buses soon arrive, and Shen welcomes them to the resort, hitting her target goal. Unfortunately, in the next scene, the manager claims the entire bonus and discredits Shen completely. Enraged, our girl confronts him, insisting that she did all the work, but the manager scoffs at her and refuses to give her the bonus. Just then, Jung arrives, and Shen is shocked to see him walking strong and confident and surrounded by guards. Jung reveals that he disguised himself as a person with disabilities to experience firsthand the staff's genuine hospitality and promptly fires the manager. Understanding the truth, Shen offers to return the watch, but Jung suggests she keep it as a symbol of their friendship. A few days later, Shen notices a handsome guy getting into his car and talking to a woman. He mentions having some fun with her while her husband is away. Shen doesn't like their conversation and remarks on how society has gone to shit in so many ways. To her surprise, the same guy shows up at the office as an intern and introduces himself as Zhu. Shen recognizes him immediately, and Zhu also remembers her. However, before they can chat, the project director assigns Zhu a challenging task involving the Baichao group. He warns Zhu that if he fails, he'll be fired. Shen doesn't like this and stands up for Zhu, confronting the project head for mistreating the newcomer. Later, when Shen learns that Zhu is working to pay for his father's medical treatments, she feels bad and shares her lunch with him. She assures him that she'll have his back and tells him not to worry about the project leader. Together, they start gathering public opinions about the company and use some pretty clever tricks to get the people to fill out the review forms. After a week of hard work, they complete the assignment and submit it to their leader. But much to their disappointment, the project leader not only fails to appreciate their hard work, but also presents the project as his own to the president of the Baichao group. He flatly refuses to grant them any bonus for their efforts. However, to their surprise, the Baichao's group president reveals that Zhu is in fact her son, and he will make the final decision regarding the project. Shen, taken aback, asks Zhu if he's really the president's son, to which he confirms and promptly dismisses the project leader from his position. In the next scene, Shen is at Jiang's apartment and they're on the brink of sharing a kiss. Just then, an alarm goes off and Shen prepares to collect the rent from a 5-star hotel in cash on Jiang's behalf. Despite his suggestion to collect it by check, Shen heads to the hotel to request the cash payment. However, when she sees $1 million in cash, she's utterly shocked. She gathers all the cash into a large bag and carries it outside. Outside the hotel, she encounters an old high school friend, Lena, who invites her to a reunion party taking place there. Although Shen initially declines, Lena persuades her to attend and introduces her to the rest of the group. Surprisingly, they assume Shen is a garbage collector because of her trash bag and insult her. Lena claims to be the hotel manager's wife and mocks Shen for being a loser. Undaunted, Shen challenges her to order the most expensive items from the menu and split the bill in half. Lena accepts the challenge and they both place their orders. Later, when the bill arrives, it totals over 1.5 million yen. Lena, who taunted our girl earlier, is taken aback. Adding to her dismay, Shen reveals a stack of cash from her bag and pays for her share before leaving. Furthermore, the hotel director arrives and reprimands the couple for disrespecting Shen, the CEO's girlfriend, subsequently firing Lena's husband from the job. A few days later, while Jiang and Shen are getting closer in the office, the director of the company arrives, prompting our girl to leave. She messages Jiang, expressing her desire to keep their relationship under wraps in the office. Jiang then informs the director that he's about to go on a business trip abroad and urges him to take care of the company in his absence. Once Jiang departs, the director brings in his wife to the company and introduces her as a new employee. The wife immediately clashes with Shen over a seat and complains about her. The director, who is acting CEO, takes his wife's side and assigns a challenging project to Shen, threatening to fire her if she fails. Later that evening, Shen confides in Jiang, updating him on the office situation and the rude behavior of the director. The following day, the director announces that the client liked their proposal and will award 10,000 yen bonus to the employee who prepared it. Shen is thrilled to hear this, but is stunned when the director gives the bonus to his wife. Shen tries to defend herself, pointing out that she created the proposal and deserves the bonus. Unfortunately, the director ignores her and again threatens to fire her. At that moment, Jiang arrives and confronts the director for his corrupt behavior. Here, Shen reveals that Jiang is her boyfriend, leaving the director in shock. The director then apologizes, but still gets fired from his position. In the following scene, Shen brings Jiang to her home to meet her father. Surprisingly, the father immediately confronts Jiang, accusing him of being in a relationship with his daughter, despite previously considering him like a brother. It's revealed that they've met in the past, and Shen's father helped Jiang by offering him some food. Now he's upset with Shen for choosing a financially challenged boyfriend. Just then, a neighbor arrives and suggests they go inside the house to discuss the matter further. Everyone goes inside the house, and the neighbor aunt taunts Shen's appearance, urging her father to let her marry her boyfriend. She points out that Shen may not find another man in her life. The elderly lady then brags about her son-in-law's company receiving an investment from Lu Group. When Jiang and Shen hear this, they exchange smiles. Jiang suggests inviting her son-in-law to meet them, and she agrees. Soon, the son-in-law arrives and warmly greets Jiang, shaking hands with him. He mentions that he's the president of Lu Group and expresses gratitude for Jiang's willingness to invest in his company. However, to his disappointment, Jiang declines to invest, citing the disrespect shown to Shen and her father by his mother-in-law. Shen's father is shocked and apologizes to Jiang for his behavior. The scene then shifts to another day when Shen is dancing at Jiang's apartment. Right then, she notices that Jiang has transferred 2 million yen to her account. When he arrives, Shen questions him about the money transfer, and he explains that it's compensation for missing the family party scheduled for that night. In the evening, Shen arrives at the hotel where the party is being held and clears a parking space for her car. At the same time, her cousin arrives and, seeing her move a bicycle, assumes Shen is financially struggling and criticizes her. Throughout the party, her cousin continues to taunt Shen for her supposed modest choices and preference for Chinese food, bragging about her husband's large company and high income. After a while, Shen heads to the restroom and her cousin's husband follows her, attempting to flirt. However, Shen rejects his advances and pushes him away. Thinking Shen did something wrong, her cousin accuses her of trying to seduce her husband for his wealth. Just then, Jung arrives and introduces himself as Shen's boyfriend. However, her cousin doesn't back down and continues her tirade. To clear the confusion, Jung hands his business card to her cousin's husband, who is shocked to discover that he is the CEO of Lu Group, the same company that bought his ex-workplace. As expected, Jung then fires him from the job. In the next scene, Shen visits a convenience store and grabs a guy by the neck, accusing him of stealing her aunt's purse. To the guy's surprise, Shen is protecting him from being scammed by an ice cream vendor. It turns out the two know each other, and Jung is actually her childhood friend. A young lad then approaches them selling flowers, and Jung offers to buy one for her. Unfortunately, his card is declined, and the flower boy scolds him. Seeing this, Shen takes her friend to a restaurant and offers him a job at reception. After a while, one of Shen's high school friends arrives and mocks her for working at the restaurant. She invites Shen to a reunion party, and Jung accepts the invitation on her behalf. Next, Jung arrives in a luxurious car to pick up Shen and take her to the party. They encounter the same girl who boasts about her husband owning an expensive car and working for Wanshun Group. She tells them to leave and calls security. Surprisingly, when security arrives, they address Jung as the president of Wanshun Group. This girl is shocked and apologizes to them. However, Jung still fires her husband from his position. Amazed, Shen asks Jung how his family became so wealthy, and he explains that they received billions of dollars when the government demolished their property in the past. Afterward, he invites Shen to accompany him to a wedding the following week. When Shen hears the date, she immediately declines, revealing that she's getting married on the same day. Jung is taken aback and asks about the groom, and that's when Jung arrives in his car, revealing himself as Shen's fiancé. The drama concludes with Jung disclosing that he's Jung's nephew, making Shen his aunt.